Greetings, welcome to day 52 of Project Dig. Thank you for joining. Project Dig is a 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game that I am developing entirely here on Twitch and uploading all the VODs to YouTube. We're making a custom C++ game engine. We're working on adding in scripting support for it, Lua scripting support. So we're trying to create C++ bindings to Lua using Sol 3. And yesterday we were working on a script that will kind of do some introspection, go through all of our header files, and generate a C++ file that we can compile into our engine that has all of our user types that we want to be exposed. We're doing some crazy things here. That script that we are running through, or having run through all of our header files and generating a C++ file to do this Lua binding is in Python. So we're using 3 languages here to do stuff. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So this is what the file looks like right now. The generated file. For the most part. There's like a few things that I need to change here. And there's also a few things I discovered just are not working, period. Here's the script that we are running to go through our header files. We worked on that all day yesterday, or pretty much all day yesterday. And got to doing some kind of complex things. Today we're going to be continuing to work on the script, I think, and just kind of getting it to be just right. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. Okay, so there's a few things that we want to do. One is we want to, and maybe I should make a little like task list here or something. Let's see here, slash, do I have a to-do list? Okay, that's pretty nice. So let's see here. Includes scripting. Yeah, just let's do includes. And up here I'll say tasks remaining for maybe let's see, user types script tasks. There we go. So what was the other thing? Includes oh yes, I would like to be able to detect the types that we are exposing and make sure that we are exposing those types. So like exposed types tracking. Maybe warning when missing exposed types. Used user types. Okay, that sounds good. And then I need to also make it so that templates should use the using name. So like here we have vec2 float1. This really should just be vector. That's the same thing, and I'm not sure how I want to do that. One thing I could do is go to my types file, maybe in here, and just like parse through the using. That might work. I think that could work. Actually, I think this will work. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good to me. Yeah, define. Anything else? I'm not sure. There's like one or two more things that we're going to need to fix in here. But I think we can get to those in a bit. Such as, I know that there's bit fields. These bit fields are going to have to change, unfortunately. I need to look at how to fix that. I think what I'll need to do is create getters and setters, or yeah, getters and setters for them, so properties. Not sure how I want to do that. It's a little tricky. So yeah, here I'll go ahead and kind of explain how this script is working now. And we can kind of talk about that for just a moment. So let's look at our component script, our header file. So what we ended up doing is we have this Lua user type pod. That tells it that it does not have a constructor, but we do want to expose this as a user type. And then we have these Lua vars that tell it, hey, we want to expose this variable as, you know, or whatever, this period. We want to expose this variable right now. We can say that it's read only. That will make it so it should only be read only, which I just noticed is not working here, but I don't think that's going to make a difference anyways, because we can't do a reference of a bit field, so we have to do some other stuff. Yeah, so these are bit field. Well, playtime is not. So I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. I think I can expose it as a property. And then have a getter and setter. And that should work. I think it will work. We'll have to test it out. Honestly though, yeah, I don't know. We might not even need that stuff. Or maybe I could just have getters, because I don't think we're ever going to want to have setters for that. Maybe we'll just add getters. So we're gonna need to add in some type of like property support. So we can do that. Lua properties support. Yeah. So this, yeah, tells it Lua var read only. And then we also have, if we go to this, we can see we have a normal user type pod, user type template, and then we have support for constructors, functions, variables, read only. We're going to now need to add in a new one, which I think will just be like a property. I might do get property and set property. And what it could do is look for something that has the same name. Would that work? Or maybe it expects it to have a set. Yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. So these are just used as like tagging, so we can easily see stuff. We also have here in vec2 this Lua user type template that we have set up here. So these are the different templates. I wonder if I should change it. Like if we're going to go into, maybe that would be better. Instead of having this, what if we It'd be easy to parse too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's change this to be like vector, pixel vector, and tile vector. And then what we can do is find those in here. So we can just say like, you know, look to see if the line starts with using. If it does, then get this. And then look to see what's after the equals and use that as the final value. Like that's what it should end up being. Right? I think that works. I think that works. So that does mean that we're going to have to change some things. Let's go ahead and commit some stuff first. So this is all Lua stuff. Think maybe let's commit that. Should commit everything except for those top two right now. We don't want that. We want this. I want to pull, yeah, okay, that looks good. So this is added Lua JIT and Sol3 libraries. Okay. So then, I think we're going to perhaps commit all of this now. Now let's just put it in here, stage it, so that way we can see the changes we make. But let's not actually commit it yet. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, so now let's get to the script. We can start working through the stuff. Warning when missing used user types. Let's do that after. We'll do those two first. So let's see here. First up. Let's add in here includes is an empty list. And then any file that we decided we're going to use should that's the include. I guess we want to strip off the include, right? Right? Thinking if I think we want the full file name, but remove the include from the front. So let's see here. We could actually include should have a sol slash maybe I should just add that in at the end. Actually, I think I might add that in at the end. Yeah, let's just add that in at the end. So it'll start with nothing. So we'll append the file name, but let's strip off this include, which is a total of 8 characters. So let's say 8. I think that will be okay. And then before we actually include, yeah, so here we need to do something more. We need to inject into here. Output dot write. Okay. So that's the first include, and then we need to do for includes in, oh, it's for include in includes. I guess I could add this in. Maybe I'll just do that. Then we don't need that first line. Could do this. So then we could just add that here. For include and includes, include format, include into there, and that should work. And then at the end we want to, I guess we could put in here, we would say new line, include sol.h, new line. So that should be that. Now if we look into here, we can see it has our includes. Excellent. I don't think we want that slash that way though, right? We want to swap that. I think we're already doing that at some point, right? We do it here with the file name. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just take that, replace, and do it right here. Nice, great. Looks good. I think we could maybe also get rid of siege. Or maybe what we actually want to do is to say that that's part of siege. And then here I should do a length of the includer. So now, oh, whoops. That looks better. That looks good. That looks good. Uh-oh. We lost our vec too. Oh, that's right. It's because I changed that. That's okay. That's okay. So I changed this to be vector, pixel vector, and vector, tile vector. So now we need to add in support for that. Okay. I'm on board with this right here. So let's work on adding in support for that, for the template. So it parses the template and it gets the parameter. Yeah, this sucks because I like figured out how to do this and I'm kind of getting rid of it, right? Kind of. Man, this code is not super readable. Not at all. So if this is a template, oh, wrong thing. Wrong thing. So wait. Where are we replacing them again? It's in the constructor, right? Constructor param split. I think I should add in some examples here to help me see what's going on. Okay, so here it is splitting on the specializations. Class name. Those are the names, and this is the specialization, I see. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of getting rid of that. Hey, Sinslayer, what's up? We're just continuing to work on what we were working on yesterday. Kind of cleaning it up. So a specialization is something like the tile vector or pixel vector, etc. for the vec2 templated class. Oh. So we actually have the class name is just now whatever we pulled out of the specializations. So I think, let's see, RE line. What's this line? It's this the first line. Okay. So let's open up regex. And we're going to look at, here's our line, and this is what it looks like now. We don't have anything, so it's words and spaces, commas. RE find all. Oh, it's because I removed that. Yes. So now what I think I need to do is probably something more along the lines. Oh, this is now, yeah, much simpler. If we just say, hey, let's forget about like this, these have to be specializations and we don't support the templates anymore. Which I think I'm okay with. Then all we need to do for this is, is say take the line, then we want to split on the first. Yeah, split on the first open bracket and then split on the last one. I don't know why I did it with that. And then lastly, split on the commas. And then for everything that we find, let's go ahead and trim it down. So specialization.trim, specialization, all right, for specialization in that, and this is now our specializations. So this will split up into vector, pixel vector, and tile vector. And specializations is what we're going to put into the names, and we actually just have to say extend, right? Do we even need to do that then? You know, we could now just do a extend here, or even better yet, let's just move this down here and say star specializations, and it will now populate the names properly whenever it initializes that user type. And then we don't need this at all. But one thing we do need to do is parse through our types file and pull out all of the types that we have in there defined with using, and create a map that we can use. So then we can go into here. Yeah, that should work. But you know what? We're actually going to want to... Well, I don't know if we're actually going to need this. Yeah, but we definitely need this still for some other stuff. It's tricky because here we have this constructor and we say it's a const tx. We need to be able to say, oh, actually what we mean is a const float for the constructor type. And so whenever we expose it, oh, we got rid of it. But yeah, it was generating a, here we go. This was the type, like it says it's a float. It takes 2 floats or 2 ints. Yeah. So, yeah, we need to go through all of our using parse header. I think what we will do is probably make that be the first thing that we do. First, parse through our types header through x.h to get all template. I don't reference, not nicknames or using names. I don't know what we want to. Sometimes I like to put comments like this, sometimes, rarely. That kind of just give me a quick overview of, hey, this is what this chunk of code is doing, just so it's a little easier to parse in the future. I don't always do that though. Alright, so first let's say, yeah, we need to open that. Open include siege types.h, and we need to be reading it as types for line and types header. I think what we want to do is just first of all not split, strip the line. And then we want to say if the line starts with using, then that's where we're going to want to actually do something with it. We'll say, yeah, if it's using, then we want to do what? You know, it might be better to just use a regex and then pull out everything. I think that would be better. I think I know what we can do for that. Yeah, let's actually get our types file. Just dump it in here, so then we can see that. And we'll say if it contains using and a space, and then we want to have a capture here of, I think, just the word plus, and that will capture everything that we actually care about. And then we're going to want another space and an equal, and then another space, and then that's where it actually changes, or like it gets a little bit more interesting. We want to, I guess we want some word and then a bracket, right? 1 second. Word, so like a word plus, and then a bracket, and then that's where I think what we really want is, where's that at? What I have over here commented out, this thing right here. Yes, perfect, because that was parsing those. So see, that's exactly what we want to pull out. And it gives us our exact 2 groups that we care about as well. Nice. Yeah, so that's good. That is good. So we can also say it has some space, star. We're doing it per line, so that's okay. And then we don't even need to trim it. We can, I guess we don't need that. We can say search and then it works, right? Or that's fine. Wait. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So instead of doing this, what we'll do is we'll say ra.search or match r that and the line. And this gives us our matches. What is this? Result, I guess. And we'll say if it has a result, then what we want to do is get the results group 1, which is our using. I think we just want to say usings, template, I don't know, template usings. I don't know what I want to call it. Perfect. So that should create a dictionary for us of all of our usings. So then what we can do is in here when we parse the header, now I need to pass in that. Since we have this over in here. And here, what we want to do is get the specialization using, and that gives us what this should be. Nice. So let's go ahead and just set a breakpoint here to see if that's working. This object has an attribute split. Oh, whoops. It's supposed to be 1, 0. Stir attribute has an stir object has an attribute trim. Yeah, it's supposed to be strip. So specialization is vector, and then template usings. Template usings. There we go. Tile vector is at int32t sizes tile. Nice. So that looks like that should work. So if we say then our template specialization is a float sizes pixel. Excellent. So then that should give us, we look at our current user type.templates, we're going to have perfect. So it's zipping these up. It's saying like, hey, our U is the size as pixel and our T is a float, and our U is the size as pixel and our T is an int32. And that is mapped to the same index as our specializations, or I mean the names. So if we do current user type.names, we're going to see vector as the first thing, and this is a pixel vector as the second, and then we'll have a third one in here, which will be a tile vector. And wait, where is it at? Templates. There we go. Tile vector, nice. I think that's all working. This to all. Tile vector. Beautiful. It is complaining about some stuff. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. We have a comma on the last, like, variable, and I need to get rid of that. Probably what would be the easiest thing to do, I'm thinking, is here. So I do an output right. I guess that's actually a little harder, because we kind of need to be looking forward to see what we would be doing. Or another possibility that we could put these all in a list. That might be the best thing to do. Like output lines. And so all three of those will be output lines dot append and then what we can do is say for line in output lines output dot write line. And before we do that, we need to say, hey, let's get the output, the last, oh, whoops, output lines. -1, and hold up. I kind of remember how to do this, but not exactly. So if I say Python, so that's a string -1. So that's right. Haha. Nice. That's pretty cool. So what this will do is remove output lines -1. So that just removes the last character on the last. So it removes the comma from the last. Wait, does it remove the new line? I don't think so, but maybe. This actually might be wrong. Well, let's just see. We can run it. That's probably the easiest way to do. Yeah, remove. Okay, so actually it needs to. Oh, dang. I guess it needs to remove the last 2 lines and then add in a new line. Go ahead and remove this import. Okay, cool. So that does fix it. So object namespace has an attribute no constructor. I think it's lying about that. Are you lying to me? Soul. Oh, it's that HPP. Oh, my bad. Oh, and also I need to change these to be state, not Lua. Right. That's easy to do. State. And this is going to be HPP. Nice, looks good. Looks good. We're getting there. Awesome. So where are we at now? We got the includes. Templates should use the using name if defined. Well, it always uses it. Warning when missing used user types. So that's something I want to do. And then the property support. And also I think one other thing I need to support is overloading. Because this get angle and degrees is technically overloaded. As well as get angle, and I don't know exactly how to do that. This might end up being quite challenging to do. Let's see here. Do they have overload? User type overloading with fallback with members. So overload func. I see. So you have to do a soul overload, and you pass in. You can just overload functions. Just pass in the different functions you want to pack into a same name. Make sure they are different types. Okay, so that's actually really easy to do. Right? Function members. Thingy, default, paint. Paint, thingy, paint. Wait, what? Paint. Make reference. I don't know what this is actually doing. Overloading with fallback. Don't really know what that is. With members. Bark is cute. Yeah, okay, cool. So I just have to overload. But I think this is going to be kind of the same as yeah, I don't even actually, now that I think about it, I don't even need to do anything special for this. On the C++ side, I just need to go through all of these. And so like if I have anything that's like get angle and degrees, like if I guess what I should say is if I find any functions that have the same name, it should take all of those and make them or put them in that overload. Cool. So that's actually going to be kind of easy to do. So that's here in funcs. Let's see here. So would be the most efficient way to do that. So I need to iterate through. Would probably be easiest, honestly, is if I like put the functions in a dictionary. And so it was like a dictionary of the name to all of the. Oh wait, that's not going to work. Do they need different names then? How does it know which one is what? Oh, that's where it gets complicated, huh? Yeah, here, let's try to figure it out on the C++ side first, actually. Yeah, this is where it's going to get really tricky because I think what I need to do is actually something more like this. Overload. Let's look to see sol3 user type overload. Let's see if there's any good examples. I think I might have to do the same stuff I did with Korea. Wonder if it's really worth even doing overloads here. Yeah, overloads kind of suck. So I think what I need to do is something like, yeah, I'm sure I can find an example somewhere. Let's look at vec2.hpp. We go one of those, I think, or here's a good example. So ugly. So it need to be something like this. So this would be a vector. Get angle in degrees. Get angle in degrees. That returns a float. It doesn't take any args. And it's const. Just trying to figure this out. Legal cast. Do I have to say it's a const expression? I don't think so. Float, get angle in degrees, const. Oh, whoops. There we go. I had extra, yeah. There we go. So that's what it would need to look like. That is tricky to, and so then we would need to have the other one that looks very similar, except the difference is that it takes, whoops. You can optionally pass in a const vector position. Oh, whoops, not that. Right here. So that's what you have to do if you want to get the angle in degrees. Get angle in degrees. Let's go look at this. So this does the arctan of minus y. So isn't that just where you pass in 0, 0? Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this overload. Maybe the goal here is to just avoid overloading, period. So in this case, we could just pass in, yeah, let's do that. So let's get rid of this. You can pass in an empty vector if you want. And it will Like if we really wanted to, we could even say that has a default empty vector. I don't know how Lua handles that, if it does or what. So yeah, that will fix that issue. And we'll just have to avoid doing overloads. Oh, whoops, I need to, right, delete those. Okay, so I think I have the bitfield stuff left now. Yes. So what I am going to look at as a possible solution, oh, I haven't done that yet, is getters and setters. Or maybe just do getters, period. So it could be something like, so we probably just want to get rid of those. Playtime, or maybe we could do read only for that. And then, yeah, and let's actually just put that down there. By the way, welcome everyone that's joined. Thank you for joining. I hope you're having a good Saturday so far. What I'm working on is adding in some Lua scripting support to this custom C++ engine. And we're making it so that we procedurally, or not procedurally, we generate, I don't know why I said procedural. I'm just used to saying procedural generation. Where we are generating this C++ file that exposes all of the user types from our C++ engine. So that way we don't have to be managing two separate languages really. And we're kind of just managing our C++ side, and the Lua stuff is automatically taken care of by just doing a few little things by like tagging our variables and structures. Yeah. Hey Bart, awesome to hear. Good. I did like 3 or 4 hours of yard work this morning. It was fun. Finally finished up the drain system. I have downspouts on the sides of my house, and they just spit out right onto the ground. It's like, thank you, developer. You are awesome for doing that. Not. It's like, why couldn't they have like had it just piped to go out to the street or go directly to the sewer system? Why do they make us have to deal with it after the house has already been built? Yeah, but anyway, so dug trenches and got it. So I have a corrugated pipe, laid it down, and it's taking the water to the street now. So that way we don't get flooded, because normally like the side yards would just get flooded whenever it rained really hard. But yay, finished it, finally. Like I started working on it probably about 8 months ago, and then it started raining. I ran out of time, couldn't finish it before winter, and then yeah, it just finally dried up enough, and I had enough time to finish it. So that's what I did this morning. Can I ask you a question about a C# program I'm working on? You're welcome to ask. I might be able to help. I usually tell people Stack Overflow is a much better place to ask programming questions than here. But yeah, you're welcome to ask. Okay, so what I want to do here is just add in some helper functions. So uint32 Get index. I'm thinking of doing something like that and just stripping off the get. And so these are kind of going to be a little special. I almost wonder if I could just generate this automatically, like get property. Oh wait, no, I can't generate it. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, maybe we could do it automatically. Couldn't I just make this be auto? Like, I think that works. And then what we can do in here is say sole property. I think for a get one, we would want it to be read only. And that should fix it for us. So we'd have a get property. Oh, I guess we need, maybe we could do this property. So if I want a getter and a setter, I could use a property. And then we can generate this automatically, and we can just say this is index. I think this will work. So then, and Lua types, user types. We can do this, property, or member var, and it generates an auto get var return var. Is that right? I think this is good. I might be wrong on this. I'm not the best at doing properties. Var, so that's a set var, so that's a void set var. Oh, whoops, that's wrong for sure. This is wrong. This needs to be return var. There we go. Auto var. Var equal, this var equals var. I think that's right. And then properties just both. I tried looking for an answer in Stack Overflow, but I couldn't find any. Well, you can always make new questions. Does want to know how to add two alphanumeric values like A001 plus A002 and get output A003. Well, I don't know exactly what you're trying to do, like what all of the inputs are, but you might be able to strip off what base are those numbers in. It sounds like it's just base 10, and you're not wanting the, like, you want to strip off the starting value and like a, or the like prefix a, and then add the number after it, and then add back in the prefix. So you could do like a regex. That could work. We've been doing regex stuff. So if you go into here and say, you know, like A001, or A002, whatever, A003, or if you wanted like something else, 5, and you wanted to add all of those, you could, using regex, do something along the lines of just say, hey, we have these characters, You know, I don't know if they're always capitalized. If they are, then that makes it even easier. Well, it doesn't really matter. You could do A through Z. If you want to support lowercase, you can. And then you could say, well, if it always has it, then you could do plus, or you could do star, whatever. And then some number after it. And then you could capture that. You could capture these two. And so then you would have like DFEN and 005 as the two different groups, or A and 003. And so then you have the prefix that you easily get. And then you could just, you could even check to make sure like the prefixes match, and then add, and then you can cast the group number 2 to a integer, and then add them, and then put it back together. So that's how you could do that. That's one solution. It might be simpler depending on what your inputs look like. Like if it's always starting with A, then just remove the A, cast the string to an integer, and then add it to the other one, and then convert it back to a string and add A to the front. So yeah, depending on the complexity of the inputs, yeah, you could do something like this or whatever. There's maybe other ways to do it. I haven't really thought about it, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Yep, no problem. Okay, so yeah, coming back to this, let's see if this actually compiles. I am curious if it does. Okay, index. But does it not automatically find it? Okay, index is not a member. It might say var, like, okay, maybe I need to look at how to make this macro so it actually is doing it properly, because I think it's just using var, not, it's not replacing this var with what you pass in here. Maybe. Give me just 1 minute, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Blob0, what's up? Welcome. Alright, so let's figure out how to do these macros here. I am not a macro expert at all. C++ macro, I don't even know like what I want to look for to like what does the, I guess the good question, like I don't even know what this is generating right now. Is this close to being right? I don't think so. I'm just going to type in possible search terms and we'll try to figure it out. Use parameter text, I don't know, something like that. Optional parameters. That's cool. The args. Ah, there we go. Pound Aha. Make a function factory. Yes. Return A. So returns 12. Got it. So it looks like it's pound pound to do it. Pound pound. Compound. 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 Var. This could actually just be value. And then we don't even need this. So it looks like that's working now. Return index undeclared identifier. Return index. Wait, what? No, I don't need a colon. I guess I can remove that. Return index. Why is it thinking that it has like an extra? It's like removing the space or something. Return index. That's the only thing I can think of here. Let me see this. Okay, so that fixes it. I guess it's like trying to remove the space. I'm not sure why. Okay, cool. So that seems to work. So then what we can do is, yeah, we can have this Lua get property. And so that is actually generating or creating this for us. And then for this one, I kind of just need both. Kind of wonder if I should even, I mean, yeah, I guess if you want both, then you can get both, right? How do I do multi-line macros? Multi-line. The slash. Okay, I was kind of thinking it was something like that. So now if I do something along the lines of Lua property, it's going to create not only get index, but also a animation component set. Oh, hold up. I forgot to do the var thing, huh? Var. Animation component set index. Yes, beautiful. Good. Double is for concatenation. Try single. Oh, okay, thanks. So like, I want it for this one, but for these, I don't need that. The parameter cannot have a type that contains auto. No. I think it's because it doesn't know what I'm trying to pass in. I thought there was something that can determine that for us, right? I think so. I think there's something new in C++ 17 that can do that. 17. I haven't used it before. Might even be C++ 19 or 20. Sorry, not 19, 20. Auto func ... Oh yeah, decal type. That's what I want. Decal type. Decal type. Affects the declared type of an entity or the type and value. Right. That's for the return type, right? I think it's complaining a parameter. Isn't it complaining about this set though? I think it is. I mean, we can try this. Like, let's just say Lua set property. I think it's going to complain about that. Because I'm trying to pass in auto, and it's like, I don't know what that is. Traits. Yeah. So I need to figure out how to get the proper type for var. I might need to just pass it in. Auto param type would be a template. Yeah, I don't really want a template. Auto parameter and functions. But I want it to be returning void, right? Don't think that's quite right. So one thing I could do is include the type. That could work as one of the parameters. That might be what I just end up doing. Not that hard to do. Yeah, let's just do this then. We could say, oh wait, we don't need it for that. We could say type var, right? Type var. So then this would be the type. Oh wait, actually, undo. Okay, there we go. Type var. And then this would be type. Maybe I'm going to just make it so that they're all the same then. So that's type. This could also be type. So then in here you have something like a un32t int or index. And I think that will work. Syntax error. Type. Okay, it doesn't work. Cool. Syntax string. Type without it. Okay, I need to think about that. Why is it that one is without and one is with it? Return cannot convert char 6 to uint. Oh, is this I think I need to go read about these some more. Not assignable. I think that makes it be a string, right? So like in these cases, I actually don't want that. Or am I just getting confused? Okay, I think I need to go read about these macros. You could probably do set decal type var. Do you think decal type would work there? Okay, so that does work. All right, sure, we can try that. So this would be, if that does work, get auto, yeah, and then set var. This would be, yeah, decal type var value, var equals value. I think that's right. Okay, hey, it looks like that is actually working. Nice. I thought about it and I'm like, nah, that's not gonna work, but it does. Cool. Thanks, Smoothballs. Beautiful. So then we could get rid of that stuff. So yeah, that makes sense now. I get it that that's converting into a string and then this concatenates it to it. Cool. It makes sense. Hey, Steve Void, what's up? Yeah, I've actually never made. Yeah, I don't think I've made macros with that before. Okay, so this would be decal type of var. Yeah, I get it now. This is concatenating it to this get. This is basically using it as like those variables. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So I think that's it now for those. The one thing I want to do is make it so that it will properly generate this stuff based off of what I have in the header. This like Lua property or Lua get property, whatever. And that's much simpler than doing the bitfield stuff, I think. Like, yeah, check this out. Check this out. So if we wanted to use let me find, yeah, here we go. Bitfield. So if we wanted to use the bitfields, hey, Lidmir. Yes. Bitfields. Yeah, I think we care about this stuff. We're making sure that it should be aligned. I do need to do a little bit more research. Probably need to do some, like, I know there's some like pragma stuff that you can do to set up for the alignment. I need to do a little bit of research into that. But I am being cognizant of or mindful of what we have here in our component. But yeah, the bitfields, if you want to use bitfields and expose it to Lua, it's like super ugly. So if you have something like this, then what it ends up looking like is where you have to do this. And it's doing these templated read and writes. And it's like doing tons of crazy stuff here to try to write to the correct bit. And so, yeah, instead, I just figured we don't have to write directly. We can have a getter and setter, and that should be fine. We might not even end up using it. Maybe we'll end up getting rid of the bit fields. I'm not sure yet. For this, at least. Oh, whoops. Yeah, this can just be auto. So let's add in support for these. So we have 3: Lua property, Lua get property, and Lua set property. Yeah. So I think what we can do is, hey, Trade Strike, what's up? Something in here so we can have property. Get set needs to do something with that. Might just do like this, like get props, set props, and just props period. And then might actually, let's move props to the top. Yeah. So what do we need to do for that? In that case, what we want to do is read whatever is inside of the parentheses. Right? To be we have that line. Whoops, meant to go down here. I think what I just want is like word. I don't even know if I need that, honestly. I don't think I need this. I think I could just split on that. Yeah, I don't think I need that. We can just do this. We can say the name is equal to the line split here, split here, and this actually needs to be 1. So that gets whatever, that gets the name. That's all I need to do. And then this just adds it to the corresponding. I wonder if I could property getter. I'm thinking about doing this actually. Lua property get. What do you guys think? And then I probably should change the, no, that's okay. Yeah, I think I like that. It fits with the rest as well. Like I have user type and then I have the more specific stuff behind that. So we'll do it like that. Property get. So then I could just say, hey, if it starts with Lua property, then we could do all of these and we can be more specific here. So then I don't need to do that stuff. I can just change it. So it's like, this is get props. This is going to be set props. And then lastly, it would just be props period. Yeah, that looks good. But then up here, we would need to add a new thing, which is exposing the properties for variable or for property in user type dot props for prop and props. Yes, so I think it's pretty close to that. I think it's sole property and it needs 2, right? I like all of these. Yeah, property, get, and then set. So this would be var get and set, and then we have the other one, which is like read-only property and write-only property. If I remember, read-only property, write-only property, yeah. Should I do maybe? Nah, I think this is okay as is. I was thinking about changing it so it was property read only and property write only, but I think the get and set is fine. So we have get props. So that's going to be a read only property. and we only have that. And then the set for excellent. Object has an attribute append. Oh, wait. What is it trying to append? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about doing that. The overloading. Let's scrap that for now. And just avoid overloading because it's nasty. Okay. Animation component. That seems weird. This is wrong. Playtime, set playtime, get playtime. That is wrong. Should be doing index. What's going on here? Oh, whoops. It's because variable actually should be prop. Yeah. Prop. Nice. Get index, set index. So let's just try adding in 2 more. Oh, let's end it with that. So we can have a normal property. Oh wait, that one's actually wrong, huh? The get should be adding it to the right thing. Get props. Oh, whoops. That's right. I changed it here. Read only property. Yeah. So we can have a property get. We can have animation index as a normal property, and then we can have a property set for the frame time, just to see them all at play here. There they are. Property with the animation index, read only property, and read only. Oh wait. Oh, whoops. Aha. Forgot one thing. This should be write only. There we go. Excellent. So now that we got that set up, let's change these. So they should all be get frame time and then frame index. You know, I could probably, no, I need to do it like that. That's right. I keep forgetting that this is actually creating the, like this macro is creating that function. Nice. So does this compile now? Oh, so close. We're trying to use it now and it's finding that I'm missing some stuff. Oh, and Soul has some errors. No. Okay. We're close, but I need to fix a few things here. We are close, though. So let's see here. T to float with T as an int. So I think what I can just do is cast that to a float, right? Static cast float. So T divided by length. Length is a float. And treat those as floats as well. Oh, never mind. I see what the problem is. Actually, I think that I got that wrong. I think what I need to do is say cast it to T for that template. Wait, so we are not using LuaJIT? Yes. And I love how sexy code looks. We are using LuaJIT, yes. That's what this stuff is for. Okay, so we have some template issues here. This is trying to use some functions we haven't actually used anywhere yet, which is why we're running into issues now. Yeah, so like this hash, we actually are not allowed to use the hash for the float. So like in here, I'm supposed to... Oh wait, it's not even trying to use it. Uses it for the less than operator. Oh, it might be that it's trying to generate the less than operator. I see. Using Python to generate Lua C++ wrapper. That's right. There's nothing wrong with that. This is perfectly normal. I don't know what I'll do about that yet. That one's a little tricky. Maybe I need to create a specialized version for it. I think that's what I might do. I think that is the solution. Yeah, I think so. So what we should do is, let's see, what is the proper way to do this? It's like where, if I remember properly, it's something like template, and this is float, this is sizes pixel. Get rid of that, and I really don't know what we should do for that. Maybe this is not what we want to do. Maybe this is okay. I think what we really need is the specialization for this, which I think I will probably still put down here. Float sizes t. Float sizes t. Oh, whoops. Sizes pixel, not t. Pixel. So for that, I wonder what we should do. I guess we could just do something like this. Say x is less than vector x, and y is less than vector y. And I think I actually am supposed to put this in the vec2. Oh, we don't have a CPP file for it. Does this work? I think I might need to create a CPP file for vec2 now. Let's see what it says. Oh, looks like that worked. Nice. So what's up here? Double to float. Oh. I mean, it's okay. We can use a double there. Not a big deal. Takes a while to compile. I was thinking it would. Hey, we finally got it compiling. Awesome. Nice. So we got the property support implemented now. So the last thing I want to do with the script is add in a warning whenever we're missing use the user types. That's templates for you. Compile times through the roof. I know, it sucks. I know. I am like seriously kind of considering removing my templates for like my vector class and whatnot. Just going through it and saying, you know what, instead of having a vec2 templated class, let's just have vector. And like the silly thing is that I could probably make a better script that just like generates these files for me, the header files. The little code duplication is 100% worth it. Yeah, it's like I'm not changing them very often, and it seriously might like save me some real compile time. And if I really wanted to, I could create something that uses my templated file and generates the like CPP files for me. Basically do what the templates do, but do a better job with it. Like, I don't know why it's so bad. I don't get that at all. T4 templates? I don't know what that is. T4 templates. Test template. Is a template-based text generation framework include? Oh, really? Interesting. Sounds like this can kind of do it for you. But yeah, kind of like this. Maybe. I've used those in VS about 8 years ago. Okay, gotcha. Minimum game graphics math. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think I might end up doing that. That's cool though. I will take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, I was originally thinking like a Python file, but this looks like it's better, probably. I haven't dug into it, but yeah. Yeah, the compile times suck. There are some things that I would like to keep the templates for, but really, like, the only thing that's template... I guess that's true that this Soul stuff is templated. I wouldn't be able to get rid of that. I know Soul has problems. Like, I actually remember reading that Soul is kind of bad at compile times. But still, like, I could probably get rid of vec2 and just make a vector, a pixel vector, a tile vector classes that, you know, I'd want to use. And yeah, it'd probably be much better. Yeah, it's just because, like, most of the time things don't actually change, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just, it sucks. I don't know. It just sucks, period. Let's add in support for this warnings. So what that means is, let's go look at this. Let's say that we're trying to expose like this bounds or scale or origin or angle, and then we go look at these. We see this is a rectangle and a vector and a pixel vector. We don't know what a rect is. Like, so what I wanted to do is be able to pick out the type here and look to see if that's not a primitive, if it's not like a uint or a float or a string, then I want to make sure that I am also exposing this thing and just like do a warning probably for now and just say, hey, we don't know what a color is. Like, Lua would not know what you're talking about if you try to like get the color. So let's see here. First off, what we should do is define up here, I think just like the built-ins, or what do we want? Not built-ins, that's a keyword thing. Hey, Mr. Poundsign, what's up, man? How's your Saturday going? Default types, not default. Primitive types. I don't know what they're actually called. I'll need to look that up. So it's like, so we have the ints. We have, let's see, 8, 16, 32, 64. That's a uint t, and then we also have, let's actually do it like this. We have the ints, and then we have a float and a bool. There's probably a better way to go about doing this. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just working on the script again, trying to cause havoc. I think we want to strip out anything else. Well, these are for the types. That's true. So this is probably fine. Bool string. Yeah, I think that's a good start. I think that's a good start, right? Primitive types. Totally spelled primitive wrong. So now what I want to do is, while we are getting the vars, we could pull out the type, right? Group 1 equal. Hey, Keldar, what's up? Think about providing the type along with this. So it could be like, oh wait, that's right. We need to make it a tuple. So group 1, group 2, that would be the same. And then we need to change this to be different. How's the coding going? It's good, it's good. Making good progress on this. So let's go back to here. Let's just do this. Okay, so yeah, pulls out the balance, scale, origin, angle. Now what I want to do is add on to the beginning. So it's space, and let's do that. And so that gives us those, like, T. Oh, whoops, it needs to be plus there. Yeah, rect, bounds, vector, pixel vector. But what happens if, let's say, we have this be a pointer? Then it doesn't work anymore. So perhaps what I need to do is include that. But then I guess at that point, what I'd want to do is strip off. Probably don't need the references. Jason Dreams and regex. Now I do. Yeah, I think we could do this and then strip off the pointer after we get the type. Looks good. And yeah, I think we can say replace star with nothing. And so now our vars is actually going to be the variable type plus the variable. So then what we can do is we have our yeah, okay, that's what we need to do then, right? Right. Yeah, that's okay. I think this is okay. So let's do this. Let's say for user types in file user types, we want to iterate through all of these. So then we have the user types, create file for user type and user types. Hey, thread pools, what's up, man? So what we want to do here is say used used user types and maybe like created user types. So then this would be for name and user. Actually, I think we could just do a created user types extend user type dot names. I think that works. And then what format of Sublime is that? I need that. Do you mean the style? Or theme. Editor. There we go. That should work. Yeah, it's pretty nice. This is Sublime Text 3. Okay, that's created user types, and then we need to iterate through all of the args. So that could be for variable type and variable in user type dot vars plus user type dot vars read only. If the variable type, or I guess what I could do is just extend that, right? I think this works. For used user type. So now we want to iterate through all of them. First we have to get all the created user types. That link is 4.4. Oh, it must have expired. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll create a new one. Theme. Right, or settings. Here we go. So it's bass funk. So let me get the setting or paste the code. There you go. I'll go update Nightbot while I'm at it. I don't know why it must have just expired. Well, not just, but it must have expired at some point. Somewhat recently. So yeah, it's Space Funk and Monakai. So we want to go through all the used user types and say if the if it's not in the built-in user type or built-in types, not whoops, used type, not in primitive types, and use type not in created user types, then let's produce some warning. Print warning missing user type, used user type. I think I can do that, right? I think this works. That should work. Okay. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. What are those T's though? Oh, that's the type for the yeah, that's for the vector. Cool, so that's working. Are you using any of Kriya's code as a base? Why either way? I'm using a tiny bit of it. The reason why I'm not using most of it is because I have learned a lot over the last 7 years, and I started Kriya's development 7 years ago. And so I'd like to be able to apply what I've learned to this new game engine and not be kind of like dragged down and I don't know, like chained by bad decisions that I made 7 years ago, which is why I'm even making a new game engine. I did use some of it though because some of it is a little bit more recent. Like I redid the UI about 2 years ago, and it's okay. It's pretty good, and I saved myself probably like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or something like that reusing it rather than rewriting some new thing. Maybe not that long. Probably at least like 3 or 4 weeks worth of dev time. And I am referencing it just as like, oh hey, we're now working on this thing. How did we do it in Kriya? What can we improve upon? Whatnot. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah. So this kind of sucks. The T. So I guess what I need to do is, so we have our templates, right? So I can say if it's in templates, right? Templates, append. Where's that dictionary? Oh, it is a dictionary, right? templates. Yes. So what I need to do up here is get the template. Dang, this now is a little bit more complicated. I think we might need to expand that out. Because what I actually need to do is now say if it's in the variable name, or variable type is in usertype.templates. Oh, and I need to enumerate over the names. Right. What does it know? I think what I actually need to do. Okay, I have an idea. Let's do this. Let's undo these changes here. Good. And then we'll say if user type templates, then we need to do something special with it. Otherwise, we can do it this way. Because if it's templates, then that actually means what we need to do is iterate through all of the names for, basically this line. Iterate through each one, and then we need to do created user types, append the name, and then for each variable, if the variable is in the template, actually I could just do that, right? I can say get variable type and it can return the variable type. I think that will work. Let's set a breakpoint here. That was a really informative answer and really made sense. Good to hear. Do you recon you may migrate create over to the new engine? Recon. Do I think I'm going to migrate Kriya over to a new engine? No. That would not be worth it. I mean, Kriya works fine. It's just like I want to move on from Kriya. I'm actually going to be working on a huge update for Kriya here over the next 2 months, but overall, I want to be moving on from Kriya. It's like financially, it doesn't make sense to continue to support it. You know, not that many people are playing it anymore, and I worked on it for 7 years, so emotionally, I want to move on from it. And yeah, I want to explore new things, and porting Kriya over to a new engine would only make sense if I wanted to release it to consoles, and that would probably not be worth it. I'm almost certain it wouldn't be. I feel like Kriya has a lot of fundamental issues that prevented it from reaching its true potential, and it would just take too much effort. I mean, like, I tried to fix it. I think part of the problem is I just don't know what the actual issues are. And I tried to fix it for like 4 years, and I could not figure out what the issues are. I think I have an idea now, like, as time's gone on and I've gotten better as a game designer, kind of know what's the issues, but they're like systemic, and I'd have to go back and change a lot of stuff, and I've kind of already burned, you know, my first impressions, and so it just doesn't really make sense. It's something I did consider for a while. I'm like, you know what, I think I might do a 2.0, or maybe I should make a 2.0 of Korea, like a re-release. Worked on it for like a year straight, really hard. Don't release any updates so that way I can just focus on it. Rework a lot of the systems from the ground up and do a re-release. And see if I can, you know, like fix what is wrong with it. But I just decided like it wouldn't be worth it. It's better for me to spend a year working on a new game. Hey, JKMS, how's it going? But it is something I considered. Like, while I say it's easy or while I say I want to move on from Korea, it's still really hard for me to. And I oftentimes have to fight myself on stuff like, don't actually try to, or, you know, yeah, I'll think like, hey, maybe I could just change these things and that would fix it. But I've thought that so many times. Okay, usertype.templates index. So T is a float. So I should have used user types. I guess what I really want is this. Right. Right. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's an N32. Cool. So now it doesn't include the T. Awesome. So now we properly convert the variable, templated variable, member variables to the type that it's templated to be. All right, so we got that working. So we can see here it says it's a rect. Let's remove this. So we run it, we can just see rect, pixel rect, color, and rect. So then we can go into here, and this is pretty cool. We can just go like, whoops, color.h. Hopefully this will work. Lua bar. This should work. So then if I run this, are you fluent in Python? Yes, I would say so. Oh, right. I need to include Lua user types. Yeah, Korea, my game, the game we're just talking about, is developed in C++ and Python, and a large majority of the gameplay logic is in Python along with all the content. So there's like 70,000 lines of Python code in there. And before I did that for Korea, I also worked on Python at my day job. This is like 7 years ago plus. I developed the build bot, or I worked on a build bot that was in Python. You talk to snakes? Yes. Don't judge. I'm a snake whisperer. That was a dad joke. The issue with me is I know Python, but when it comes to creating my own things and scripts, etc., I just cannot think what to do. I need something to get me out of that habit. I find myself stuck constantly. Well, I look stuff up. I mean, if you go back to yesterday's VOD, you'll see that I was constantly looking up like I forgot like how to open up a file because I hadn't done Python for a while, or like how to walk through a directory. But yeah, so we wrote all of this in the last day or so. So you're saying you are a... create the problem before create the problem. Why are you trying to create problems? You have a pet python. Crazy. Okay. Yes, let's try. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Pod. Thought I changed that. How to find struct or class name for that. Oh, it's looking for a union. Duh. Okay. I guess I need to also support union as a possible thing. The art style, I actually don't know what I'm going to do for the art style in projectDIG. One possibility is going a very different route. Illustrated route like oxygen not included, where it's, yeah, illustrated, and the blocks would be much, much larger because the games are going to be quite different. This is very zoomed out, but you know, we can see a slightly and more zoomed in version. You can see the blocks are quite large relative to your player, and it's an illustrated art style. I'm not sure I'm going to go this route, but it's something I am heavily considering. And yeah, we'll see. So like, I don't even know the size of the blocks in this game. They're probably like 30, yeah, maybe 32, 34, 32, maybe 48, 48, something like that. Possibly even 64, 64. I mean, so you zoom out, so it's kind of hard, like, yeah, I don't know. Like the actual size, the graphics. But yeah, so we might do something different. This would still be kind of blocky. They are at least 64, 64. Yeah, I would say that they definitely look larger. They have a lot of detail in them. Eagle eye view. Is that some special skill you like invested in or something? Okay, let's add in here support for union as well. Yeah, 64, 64 is what I was kind of thinking. That should work. Oh, whoops. My bad. I changed the wrong thing. This probably would never actually be the case. So, change the wrong line. There we go. So now we have color. And then if we look in our output, we can see, hey, it's properly creating our color. And I saved the pod, but I actually don't want it to be pod. So let's change that to just be a user type. I'm okay with having that. I had an idea for a 2D game the other day. Although I have no idea how I really want it to work. Nice. I have an idea, but I really don't know about the idea. Yeah. No, I mean, coming up with how like all the game systems interact with each other and having it flow nicely is challenging for sure. So let's go to our rect class, rectangle. So we just need to do something like what we did for vector. So we have a rect, we have a pixel rect, and a pixel, no, and a tile rect are the three different types right now. Oh, and I forgot, I need to change. Yeah, this is failing because I need to say this is a Lua var. Yeah. See, how awesome is that? I just added in the color and the rectangle stuff. Oh, I forgot to, right, I did forget to expose those functions. But yeah. Just expose that stuff. Or the user types. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. If I want to make it a thing, I'm going to have to sit down and make some concept art and then talk to some people who are better at programming than me. Yeah, I mean, you could play with around with the idea for quite some time before you really need to get to that point. If you go back, and some of the VODs are probably gone by now, and I have them uploaded to YouTube. I just not exposed them publicly, but I spent 50 plus days on the pre-production for projectDIG, just trying to come up with how the design is going to be, how things are going to work. You can see this document I wrote. It's like 34 pages long of notes of, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, but there's also a lot of design and how those systems are going to work. I did also work on a prototype, but like, honestly, I don't even know how necessary that prototype was, or like, I probably could have done a third of the prototype and validated what I really need to validate, the core concept. It was just like, I wasn't completely sure about what the core concept was, and I was kind of saying it was more things than what I think it really is. So yeah, definitely spend time doing the design. Don't try to dive deep into the development right away, because you might just be wasting your time. So this is a func. So these are all funcs. This contains, that sucks. That is overloaded. I don't know what I want to do about that. I might need to change that. So I'm just exposing all of these. That set size. Those overloaded functions. Sucks. I think I might need to come up with a solution for that. Is this so ugly? It's so ugly. And then here are the constructors. Yeah, I think we need to figure out, I think that's still like one thing. I kind of said I wasn't going to do it, but I think we need to worry about overloading. But anyways, so now if we run this, oh, one type object has an attribute group. What's going on here? Looks like there's something a little weird. Something's off in here. But where? What is it complaining about exactly? Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe there isn't an issue. What's wrong with this? So that's on line 94? Or is it 205? No, it's 94. Just trying to do something with parameters. One type object has an attribute group. Oh, it's failing to find a match. So it's not matching this. Okay. Let's do a print on the parameter. Const vec. Oh, I see what's wrong. It doesn't know how to parse this templated thing. Let's just remove those for right now. Does this compile still? It looks like the answer is no. What's going on here? Const. Why does it stop? Pixel rect. Does it with all of them? Oh, it's getting confused about this. I see. Okay, so then that must mean, so wait. Width and height. Yeah, so this is wrong. Okay. So what we're putting in the constructor parameters is wrong here. See, this is wrong. So why is it doing that? Width. And parameter. Go down to here. Oh, whoops, I meant to do parameter. Oh, it just says this. I see. So it does group one strip. So why, wait, what's this param? Okay, that's what I really want to print is param and that. Let's T. Okay. So this is wrong. Why is the last letter missing? That's what we're trying to figure out. It's something is wrong with this regular expression matching. So let's look at that. So we'll take this, I think is what we want. Width. Height. Yeah, see, that's wrong. So that's wrong. So this is, I just got something wrong here. What did I do? I say this can be anything. So that's the group I'm trying to capture on. There we go. I just need to say that it has a space. And we can support multiple spaces. So that's the fix. Regex was just a little off. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that fixed it. Let's see if we have any other compilation issues. Compile, compile, compile. This is a really long compile. Dang. Number of sections exceeded object file. Compile with \big object. Dang. Is there any way to say to do big object with just that one file or something? I only use Unity builds, single source builds, and I've never encountered that. Yep. Well, I'm just special. Yeah, I don't know if this is the first time I'm encountering it, but maybe. Hey, Genus, I'm a fan of isometric 2D games. Like Super Mario RPG. Okay, so I guess we need to set that. Properties. What do you prefer, 2D side-scrolling or the 2.5D type thing of Factorio? That's a good question. Yeah, the isometric games are cool. Jonathan, one of the devs that worked on Korea for a while, he did art. Eldron, he's working on this game called Eld Game. Yeah, here we go. I like this view. I mean, this is kind of like Zelda view. Man, that's so old. He hasn't really shown any new stuff. 6 years ago, yeah. He recently came back to this game, but yeah. Looks great. He's a really talented artist. Okay, anyways. Yeah, isometric games are nice. I think they're kind of hard to make, but can't be too bad. All options. We're looking for whatever that like big. It says use \big object. I don't. You know what? I think. /GY. What's the? How do we turn this on? Command line. Oh, I actually just have to type it in. I see. There are many ways to do 2D games. Many ways. And with Unity, you can even do a 3D game that looks 2D. I saw this one game the other day. Oh man, can I find it? Let me see if I can find it. Looks so awesome. I love the graphics for it. Unfortunately, finding stuff on Twitter is super difficult. I followed the dev, but I don't know if awesome, nice. It does show it in order of follow, so I was able to find it easily. This game's Zealot. Check out this graphic. Yeah. Wish I could make it be bigger. I thought there was a way. There should be a way. Well, here's what it looks like. I think this art style is like super awesome. Like I played a lot of games like this during the PlayStation 1 era, PSX. And it's like super low poly 3D world with 2D sprites. And I don't know why. I think it looks awesome. Like there's this game called Grandia. That has that art style. Like 2D sprites with 3D low poly models. Is what the town looks like. Reminds me of Bastion in a way. Yeah, here, I'll give a link to anyone that's interested in that Zealot game. So yeah, I think this looks really cool. As soon as I saw this the other day, I'm like, oh man, I need to follow that. Okay, hey, we got it compiling with our big object. Nice. Do you guys like big objects? Hey, Hawk Hero. I'm following a Java course at the moment, but when I want to make my assignments, I have the idea of the code in my head, but I still research for it on the internet. Is that a bad thing or something normal for someone that has like a couple of months of programming? That's fine. I still do that and I have like 20 years of programming experience now. It's not 15, somewhere between 15 and 20. It's not a bad thing. As long as you're not copying and pasting code directly over, what I recommend is if you read anything online, even if it's a simple line of code, either put them side by side or something, but type it in yourself. That's going to help you remember that stuff much better than if you just copy and paste it. And also, it'll help you digest it better and remember it. And also, you might be able to realize that you're putting in some errors. Like, oh, you know what? Actually, I need to change this variable to be the proper name or whatever. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Bastion. Yeah, I played Bastion. Yeah. That game is very nice. XBLA. I did some game development with XNA way back when. I guess that's about a decade ago. A little over a decade, actually. For you, what's the best programming language? Depends on what I am doing. Scripting, I tend to use Python if I can. Unless it's a game. For an actual game, like something that's going to be ran by the game, Python is not great. But we've been working on the script that generates this C++ file. It's in Python. I'm using C++ for game dev stuff. I like C# as well. I think C# is great. I guess I just feel like I'm a little bit more comfortable with C++ now. And I know that if I really need to, I can get more out of C++ than C#. If I was doing an app that wasn't as performance critical as a game, then I'd probably use C#. But it really depends on what you're doing. Programming languages are just a tool, and tools are made for specific jobs. You're not going to be using a hammer to be able to screw in a screw. Obviously. You say it and you're like, oh yeah, that's very obvious. But it's like, why would you try to... sometimes... you can get away with stuff. Oh yeah, you could make a game in Python, but it kind of depends on the game. If you're trying to make a AAA shooter game, Python won't cut it. Hey, so that's awesome. That's compiling. So now we can make sure that this is compiling. Nice. I think that's all working now. Cool. So what we've done so far is we made it so that a bunch of stuff can be exposed. We still need to expose the world and the world components and whatnot. The user interface stuff, being able to send and receive packets, there's still a lot that we need to expose. Yeah, so this is all done. That means I can just delete this. Okay, great. What, yeah, so maybe what we can do is... Oh yeah, so I wrote this and then I commented it out. Maybe we can now add it back in. So we need in here soul. And then we'll also need this Lua user types. So this will actually expose all of our user types now to Lua. I think I changed it. Lua expose user types. Lua user types exposed. Okay, cool. So that will set that up. I was thinking if I should. We're just working towards being able to do things in Lua. So kind of the goal here, what I'm thinking we're doing is first we're trying to expose our engine, and then we could start coming up with like how are we going to write our prefab templates or scripts. And how are we going to do our interface? Like how is that going to be loaded and set up? And just working towards getting that stuff done. Yeah, I think we need to expose some stuff. I just realized one thing that's going to be quite challenging is that we have a lot of templated functions in our world, and I don't know how we're going to handle that. I guess I just need to make a special version for Lua. Like if we go to world.h, we have something like, yeah, all of these, deactivate, activate is active. What those do is it gets the component, pretty much all of those, it's just getting the component ID for that thing. And so now what I need to do is make something that allows us to like just pass in the component ID, I think. Hey, TFA Fear. I just realized who you are. Did not recognize your name at first. You are the creative Kriya. I am. Hello, welcome back. Yes, I am the Kriya dev, and I'm working on a new project now. projectDIG. So yeah, we'll need to create non-template versions of these functions. Get. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's for the world component, right? So I don't think we'll ever do queries. I don't know what we're going to want for queries, if anything ever. Yeah, so all of these get, activate, deactivate. I mean, the biggest ones right now really is get, right? The get has we'll do. Okay, let's work on this. Lua user type. And so Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to. I think I might change pod to be something else, like maybe no constructor. I think I'm going to do that. Let's do that. Can I find and replace? Yes. No Tor. Any particular framework? A new one, yes. C++. All new and shiny, that's right. Yeah, you can find out stuff here. And also if you go to dig.siegegames.com, which was linked up above. So let's change that. So now instead of pod, it's going to be no constructor, because that's really what it is. And it might make sense to actually possibly make it so that, you know, in the future, maybe I can pass in these variables like no constructor, or not variable, I don't know, types into the user type. So it'd be something more like, look like that. But then you could have multiples and we could parse them out. I don't know if that's necessary. So we could say like Lua user type, no constructor, and template. I don't know if we need that though. Okay, so yeah, we got that down. That's good. I'm helping out with stuff like Electron plus React plus Redux for launcher development for the game. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I've kind of wanted to play around with that stuff. I know that's really bad. It's really bad performance-wise, but I also heard that they're making some improvements on it, so it's going to be better. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. Okay. So yeah, let's count. I wonder if I should change that to be size, because then it can be exposed nicely. Create. I don't know if we might want to add that in, the create. So no constructor, that's good. And then this could be a Lua func. We might want this, we might not. Like, probably what I need to do is make it so that the create, the destroy, yeah, I guess it's both of those. The create and destroy are delayed and they don't do it immediately. Or something along those lines. Add. I guess we can do that, that's fine. Yeah, this could work. I might want to change that to be a size instead. And then what I will also need to do is, I think we'll add component. Oh, that's just not going to work, is it? Because it's temp, yeah. Let's tricky. Yeah, I'm getting kind of screwed here with this overloading. Like I need to one thing I'm kind of thinking about doing is making it so that yeah, this overloading is kind of sucking right now. And I used a lot of overloads here. Maybe I really shouldn't. Like this should be get world, and this should be, or like get component and get world component. I kind of recognize the name JS off. Maybe. I think. But anyways, so this will have to be something special anyways. So I guess I could say like, yeah, I think what I want to do is something along the lines of Lua func, and then we could even say get. Oh, I guess I could just be get, and that's the name of it. Lua func name. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that. Maybe I should just have it be like get component. Maybe that's what I should just do. And it takes the SID, which is a uint16 component ID. And it basically does what this does. Right? Get. Oh, that's for the world component. It needs to do this. Go to world.cpp. So, oh, that is awkward. It returns T. I don't know how I need to do this. Okay, I think I need to read into that some. I don't know how to do that nicely. Maybe what we need to do is... So I needed to return... Do I have to make specializations for them all? I don't know if that's what I would need to do. Like, I get... Okay, here's... Or not specialization. I don't know, like, specify it specifically. So I think we should be able to generate world at this point, right? Oh, let me remove the printing. Okay. Real decree. The JS off sounds the most familiar, but must have been a while. Okay, so we should have in here somewhere world. Here it is. Let's go into here. let's play around with this. So I'm thinking, what if we have a get function where it could be like get transform world get transform component. Does that work? If so, then I don't even know how I could tell it that it needs to do that. New user type does not take 12 arguments. What? Why would it say 12 argument? I guess it just doesn't like the template. I wasn't sure if that would work. I mean, that's pretty much the same as having a templated... No, it's not quite. Yeah, we're going to need to come up with a way to do this so we can get our components from the world. It might be for some of the stuff, like for the world, I'm going to need to write a custom one. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to get away with doing this auto-magically. Yeah, so that compiles. It does not like the templated function. So I need to look into that. Templated functions. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. We made some good progress. I'm happy with it. This is an okay stopping point. And I need to get going. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific time, where we will be picking this back up, trying to just, continue to get this Lua soul scripting support or the bindings set up. So that way we can start really looking into how are we going to do the scripting for the user interface, for the prefabs, and even the basic gameplay logic. And getting all of that set up and working. Feeling good about it so far. I like this, generation of this user type Lua bindings. So that's nice. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for chatting. If you're not following already, feel free to follow. I am streaming every day. So you're welcome to see my, follow and join. You can see my schedule down below. You can also check out my YouTube channel where I'm posting all the VODs as well as recap videos. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.